Morning everybody. Well, technically it's afternoon actually. This is just a follow-up to the, which one day was it? Day 2, yeah, today. It was today's kneecap release, just because a few of you commented and I thought you might. And I thought I'll just hang fire before I kind of add this next sort of little piece in for you, just to see where everybody was up to. So if you're finding that your kneecaps are misbehaving themselves and they won't move when you are stood up, the trick to kind of, I suppose, learning, if you like, or teaching your body how to relax your kneecaps is to take the load off them. In other words, take your body weight off them, right? So it's just going to show you how to do that. It's not rocket science. But if you find yourself a chair or a sofa or whatever, and let your knees kind of, or legs come out in front of you so that you've nothing behind your knees, so that when you let go, your knees are going to almost like, they're going to straighten. Gravity's going to help them straighten. So if you are somebody who has got into the habit over the years of standing with a slight knee bend, either that's because that's your habit, it's because your pelvis is forward. We'll get to that, don't worry, we'll get to the leg alignment stuff, I think that's today. So when you shift your pelvis forward, you get this minor slight knee bend. If you tense through the calves, the quads, the hamstrings, you'll get a little knee bend. The little knee bend stops you from being able to relax your kneecaps. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, right? So if I get my kneecaps out, and so that's me wiggling my kneecaps, and all I'm doing is tightening my quads or lifting them or tensing them and then letting them go. And the reason, or how I know that my kneecaps are wiggling is because if I can get hold of my kneecaps here, and because there's no weight on them, I'm not stood up, my legs are relaxed and they're completely straight, I can get hold of my kneecap and give it a wiggle from side to side. And there'll be some of you out there kind of going, I don't want to do that, I don't want to wiggle my kneecap, feels weird. Completely get that. But it should move, it should wiggle. And then if I kind of just I'm just going to lightly put my fingers on my kneecap, and I can wiggle it up and down as well. It's kind of sat there nice and loose. I put my fingertips on it, I can feel it lifting and lowering as I wiggle or as I tighten and release my quads. So that tells me, you know I can do it in standing, but for you guys that are struggling a little bit in standing, it tells you that if you could do it here with your legs straight, it gives you a little bit of information. That's what we're doing, collecting information. So it tells you that you're either when you stand, your brain is unable to let go of the tension in your quads, and that's typically because there's not enough strength around the hips to hold you up. It tells them here and your glutes, so that the quads have to get involved. So they're holding you up, so they're tense all the time and they're pulling your kneecaps up. Or it tells you that you're standing with a slight knee bend, which is very common if the pelvis is kind of not quite over your feet. Like I say, leg alignment is coming up, so don't worry too much about that. But what you're aiming for here is to reconnect your brain to your kneecaps, because sometimes it is just that. Sometimes it's your brain kind of going, oh, I forgot that my kneecaps were supposed to move, fancy that. And once you've kind of gone, oh, I could do it here, then you think, right, well, let me stand up and see if I could do it here as well. So if I do mine, you'll see them lifting and lowering. And if I was to come into, I'm going to turn sideways on, that might give you an idea. So you can see, yeah, you can see it wiggling up and down on this leg here. Now it looks like I'm kind of minutely bending and straightening my leg. I'm not really, other than the fact that as you tense your quads, it straightens your leg more, if you like, and as I relax, it just it releases that tension. But I'm not doing this. Yeah, I'm not bending and straightening my leg. I am keeping my leg still. The only reason it looks like it's moving is because I'm tensing and releasing my quads, and I'm doing that quite hard. I'm tensing quite hard, and then obviously the release is quite a lot as well. So if you're struggling here to get this kind of movement of your kneecaps, and more particularly the relaxation, see if coming down to a chair, you can do it on the floor as well, but coming down to a chair, sofa, whatever, and just see if you can get your kneecaps to wiggle in this position. Like I say, it's less about the dancing, you know, I just call it dancing and a bit of a wiggle just for fun. It's more about, can you let them relax? And if you can let them relax here, you know that your brain and your kneecaps are connected, so that when you stand up, it's working out why they won't release when you're standing up. and that's what we're going to be working on. So that's just a little follow-up from today's kneecap release, just to give all you guys that are feeling like everything's not working, just something else to play with.